Good. So the next bit of this part, and then as I say, we'll have questions before lunch. And there's a plan to this because we've got nutrition just before lunch. Now, this sort of thing doesn't just happen, you know. We had a committee meeting about this. We came up with this. Shaun, I'm going to let you sort of introduce yourself, but one of the things that we did do, we've done recently, and many of you have been involved in it, we've done a piece of research, a survey on nutrition, what people's thoughts, etc. were about it. And I've got to say, I was basically, as the Sheffield saying, I was gobsmacked at the size of the response that we got from it, which was how many?
Well, you've kind of stolen my first slide there, Ian, so thank you.
Yeah,
so we had, recently we put out the first of its kind as a nutrition survey. No organisation has ever looked directly into nutrition with pH before, and to get a response of over 600 people is absolutely phenomenal. So a big thank you for that. It's also kind of proven my point of please let me do something around nutrition. It's kind of given permission for me to do that. So just to introduce myself, I'm Shaun Clayton. I work directly for the PHA, but also in my spare time I'm a certified nutritionist as well. Everybody you've seen today is a doctor, except me. So, but please listen to what I'm saying all the same. So why are we here and why does it matter to talk about nutrition? So nutrition can have a massive part in your quality of life, which as the PHA stands for is quality of life first and foremost. It made complete sense that we would focus on this area as some way to potentially impact upon that. So today my hope is to show that nutrition can be more than just science. And in that, in pH, there's all sorts of facets to consider. Energy on the day, how you're feeling. So cooking things like en masse. We have plenty of articles on, we have a website called Focus on Lifestyle, which goes into many of these facets. And online, what you can often get as well, is a lot of confusion. So my hope is today to kind of break some of that down for you. I thought I'd show a video which made me chuckle, which is a chap who's wanting to make breakfast and he can't quite figure out what the internet's allowing him to eat. So I'm hoping this works because nobody else has had audio. So let's hope.
It's gonna be a good day. Cereal is probably the worst way you can possibly start your morning. Maybe not. Have a bowl of fruit instead.
Fruit is absolutely terrible for you.
I cannot go wrong with a plate of vegetables. Please, Lord.
You've been told that all vegetables are good for you. That is
Oh my God. Gonna have to have a glass of water for breakfast.
Why I stopped drinking water and why you should too.
Just gonna brush my teeth and go for a walk.
Your toothpaste is killing you.
So, I mean, with that around, what chance do we stand, really? So what I want to cover today are sort of three things. The different methods of dieting that you'll probably all come across in your time, as well as the diets that kind of you'll have seen in the media and probably been to some groups and things. And the key principle that plays a part in every single one of those. How this could impact onto your food choices and plan out any diet. Now, sort of admit this will focus primarily on weight loss. The reason why I've done that is because from the survey it was shown that that was the main thing people wanted me to talk about. But a lot of these principles I will try and touch upon because you can use for weight gain as well if you need to, and or just a healthy balance of staying where you are. And how activity plays a part in any diet. So Kira's obviously touched on an awful lot of that, so I'll not labour the point because you've already had, and I won't make you do some sitting up and standing down or moving around because I nearly fell over. And by the end of this talk, I hope that you have a better understanding of the key to every successful diet in history, which is a calorie deficit, and how to achieve that. So the first thing, first and foremost, is what is a calorie deficit? So that is where you are consuming less than what your body is burning. So simple as that. Many ways to elicit that, and we'll talk about that shortly. So by the end of the talk, I hope that you will have the tools to build your own successful diet. And not believe what the internet would have you believe, that the only thing you can eat is dust. Absolutely. So the principle, the diets and the brands. So you'll have seen Weight Watchers, Slimming World, and Atkins. My dad loved Atkins. The notion that he could eat bacon, cheese, steak, and lose weight was phenomenal. It made the house smell really quite badly. And there are also other methods. So if you've not necessarily done those diets, you may have done intermittent fasting, seen low carbs, that's keto, low fat, and then and I have to admit my bias is my personal favourite, which is calorie counting. I'm doing it at the minute, trying to lose a little bit of weight before my wedding. It's not going that well. What do you mean, no, it's not? I heard that. So again, the one thing that all of these approaches have in common is a calorie deficit. They just all go about it slightly differently. If you've ever been to one of these groups and wondered why it's working for Doris and not for me, the reason why is that potentially Doris, things that Kira was saying, is that she may be the first person to get up and put the cup of tea on. So she'll move slightly more. She may be fuller much quicker because of the food choices that she makes. And it's those nuances that make a big difference when it comes to calorie deficit and your energy balance. But is it that simple? Can it really be that simple as in versus out? Surely there are things to take consideration of when it comes to food. And me and my partner Becky, when we sat down and sort of, I looked at this and I found all these things about energy balance, calorie deficit, and I thought it can't be. There is no way that I can eat pizza. No chance. There is no way I can eat cookies, no donuts, and lose weight. It can't happen. So I did some digging. A man, obviously in America, a professor of nutrition, decided to prove that that very point was true. And he went on what was called the Twinkie diet. He ate Twinkies, donuts, cookies, and all of the good stuff for what was 10 weeks. And throughout those 10 weeks, he worked out that so long as I don't consume more than 1,600 calories a day, I'll lose weight. Because my height, I'm a male, my age will all dictate I'll lose weight. Mark lost 27 pounds in 2 months, eating nothing but Twinkies, cookies, donuts, and I think Weetabix. Probably for a bit of health, a bit of fibre. But the Twinkie diet itself proved that you could lose weight by eating nothing other than all the good things, but that's not healthy. So knowing that you can eat these foods and knowing that you can incorporate them into a diet, that's important. It gives you freedom. But knowing that it's not necessarily healthy is also very important, because David and Ian will come and tell me off if I don't put that in. So what you're aiming for is a balanced plate. You're aiming for fruit, veg, lean meats, grains, and most importantly, bread. Oh, bread. Oh, my days. I do not want anybody to demonize foods. So if there's one thing that you could take away from this, is that there's no good, there's no bad, there's just healthy. And sort of foods, often in my house, I'll say that we're consuming foods that are either good for your body or good for your soul. And there's a balance, there's a place for both. So tonight we're going out to the big smoke and I'm going to eat all 3 courses as a celebration that this went well. What we are going to do, because I'm acutely aware I've got 15 minutes and I could just talk for ages, is we've pulled together 4 fact sheets to help you sort of create your own diet. Because I could have stood up here for about 30 minutes and you'd have all been hungry and wanted to go for food. But if you are interested in them, there'll be an evaluation form at the end. And please feel free just to tick and we'll get them sent out to you once the meeting's done. So my last take-home message is, when it comes to losing weight, gaining weight, or just generally trying to maintain a healthy weight of where you are, it's not a light switch. There's no on or off. If you had 1 cookie, don't go eat the whole box. If you burst one of your tyres, don't go burst all 4. Get straight back on it. It's the same thing that Kira said, is hit reset and go again. And the analogy of it's a dimmer switch as opposed to a light switch always helps me. I can dim it down, I can enjoy myself, I can relax, I can chill, but then straight back on it again the following day. So, in summary, energy balance is the single most important thing in any diet. The Twinkie diet showed us that. whether that's for weight loss, gain, or maintenance. What you consume in and out will play a pivotal role in what your body composition is. To lose weight, you must burn more calories than what you take in to elicit some form of calorie deficit. And there are all sorts of fun ways to do that. I mean, the easiest thing is that people say just move more and eat less, but there's so many nuances to that that it makes it very difficult, and that requires personalisation. And then finally, what you eat will impact on your health and therefore your quality of life. But you can enjoy all foods and still lose weight, including donuts and halloumi fries, which I'll be eating later. Thank you.